many textbooks you see that designing is a problem-solving activity. So, do you think that as a problem-solving activity, the process itself is clear and delineated from the beginning, or there is more of a reformulating of the subject and the object during the process, also for circular loop?
Yeah, my experience is it's always changing, and that's very difficult, of course, because you have to take, this is the planning for the project, and you almost always make it for a certain audience, and if that audience is involved, and when it's all on paper, they say, well, this is how we want it, but later on, when they see it, then, well, not quite as we liked it. So it's always changing, and yeah, it's sort of a game between the manager of the project and the customer who's going to use it. So it's a game from how much can we go with them or keep the specs. And that game is that's the project managing game, I think. So the user wants everything, but you cannot give everything, and yeah, the initial design is always changed during a process. You don't want that as a project manager,
but do you think that it happens because some aspects of the project or the software are not clear from the beginning and need further clarification during the process, or because just somebody changed their mind and doesn't understand it from the beginning?
I think both. The designer and the customer knows everything about what he wants. The designer doesn't know that, of course. So he tries to get it all by doing interviews and writing documents, but they're not on the same level many times. So the design has to change. But of course, it's the most important thing to get it right at the beginning. You cannot get to the 100%, but try to get to 95% or something like that. So you only have to change the 5%. But I've also seen projects, they're just changing, and then the planning is going out of bounds and blowing.
And how valuable do you think that is your previous experience, so your previous designs, when you approach a new problem or a new design?
And can you repeat the first part?
Yeah. How valuable do you think that is your experience?
It's very valuable. If you've done something already, then you've learned from that. So experience is very important. You can also take the other way around, of course, because you already knew it. You cannot put yourself on a higher level and say, well, this time I'm going to do it different. So the downside is every time you do the same thing. But the upside is because you do it more, and it will be easier the second time.
So do you think that there is a risk that since it's something that you have already done, even maybe with a little change in a different setting, but there is no innovation in it, or it's harder to put innovation in it?
It's harder because you've already done all your innovation in the first time, and then the second time it's difficult to get even more innovation. But of course, the world is also going on, and especially at the IT and the web, everything is going so fast. So the innovation can come from the technique. So let's say when you look at a web page 10 years ago and now, difference are really very, very big. Web 2.0 now, and going on. Everything is flashier, and so you can innovate by the techniques which come available, but the rest stays the same.
And do you think that it's methodology, so following a method in your design, or experience that played a major role in design and problem solving?
Both, but I think the experience is it's a bit bigger. But the methodology is also needed, of course. You have to make order in your planning and in everything. And there's always a first time, and then methodologies are very good to help you and get you on. And later on, you still use that methodology, but say, well, this part isn't very handy, so I do that different this time. Then the experience comes into place and becomes super set, or how you call it, on the methodology.
So when you design something new, do you actually use some methodology, or so a pre-established method, for example?
Yeah. Well, there are a few techniques. Currently, Agile is very common, which is developing in small sprints. So you take the whole project, you chop it into little pieces, and develop the little pieces. And after every piece, you check it with customers, everybody involved, and then you go drive the project based on the sprints. So every time, at every sprint, you still say, am I going to plan, or do I need more functionalities? There must be a new sprint for that, and it's more manageable, because when you just go with the flow, then it's bound to fail. You need to set the borders for the project and get them on one line with the customer. The customer expects something. You say, well, within these bounds. When you go out of these bounds, then act on it. But the bounds are described by the methodology. And not described, but the framework for the whole thing.
And is this sort of the only kind of methodology you use, or you have different ones and you just pick the most appropriate?
Well, it's always the one in between. you don't. When I was at school, then this is a methodology and you can use that. But when you go in real life, then it's not always keeping that line straight. You're always deviating from the methodology, because this company wants that and that company wants something else. And well, if you look at the market now, Agile is most commonly used, but still it is based on older methodologies, but refined, and every methodology looks like each other, or sometimes a company doesn't have any methodology, so just do something. And then your experience says, well, I'm still going to use something like that methodology.